Yeah, okay, yeah. So today I'm here to give ISE Club sharing. Yeah, so first let me just give a brief introduction of myself. Okay, so my name is Caleb. I'm a year 2 student in industrial and systems engineering. I'm also currently taking a minor in business administration. Yeah, so regarding my role in ISE Club, in my first year, I was the freshman orientation camp director. And now in my second year, I'm currently the president of ISE Club itself. So a little bit more about myself. I was actually an alumni of Temasek Junior College. Yeah, so I was from the class of 2017. So I graduated quite a while back already. Okay, yeah. So before I begin sharing about ISE Club, right? I think most of you all will be wondering, what is student life in university like? Okay, so I think some of you may be wondering, is it about making friends, right? Others may wonder, is it about learning new skills, for example? Others may think, is it about forging new memories and experiences with the people around you? Okay, or is it simply just having fun, right? Okay, so or maybe perhaps it's even all of the above. Okay, yeah. So in general, student life in ISE, okay, students will have a range of activities that they can choose to participate in, and you all will have multiple opportunities to make friends within the cohort. Okay, and of course, the student cohort's interests are represented by ISE Club itself. Okay, so what is ISE Club? So we're actually an engine sub-club consisting of ISE students that plan events for the wider ISE cohort. So if I were to summarize what we do essentially in one line, it's basically we are ISE, it's like by ISE students for ISE students. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we have several activities that we actually plan across the academic year. So for the first activity that actually comes at the start of the academic year, it's actually a ISE Day. So the pictures you'll see that in person, actually those were pre-COVID. For the past 2 years, actually we have shifted ISE Day online, as you can see from the center picture. Okay, so ISE Day essentially is like a networking session. It allows ISE juniors to have the opportunity to meet up with and interact with ISE seniors. At the same time, usually we will have certain guest speakers, for example, like ISE alumni or maybe ISE seniors, or sometimes even like industry speakers who will come in and share during ISE Day itself about like their experiences in ISE, their experiences after graduation. How was it like finding a job, for example, to give the juniors more insights into what it really is like to be an ISE student after graduation. Yeah. So next, this is something new that we introduced this year. Actually, was ISE Career Day, whereby this was a new committee that we formed this year to allow students to network directly with various companies that are hiring. This was more for the graduating and the year 3 and year 4 students, but then we opened it to the entire cohort to allow them to join this session and get to know and interact directly with speakers from the different companies. So I believe for this career day, we held it last year in September. Yeah, so it was 2021 in September. We invited companies like Ninja Van, Movas, PSA, and DB Schenker to come and interact with our students. And of course, student life wouldn't really be right without the welfare pack giveaway. So we usually do this towards the end of the semester, whereby we hand out goodie packs to the various to students across the cohort, and this is so that this is meant as a form of encouragement and to tide them over the period as they are studying for their exams towards the end of the semester. Okay, yeah, and then of course we at the same time we also have ISE special events. So special events is essentially the crowds of student life events. Actually, it's meant to allow the cohort to provide the cohort opportunities to gather and to interact with one another and to really just come together for a fun day of a day of fun. Yeah. And I think like Joel mentioned, actually we also plan CIP events throughout the year. So for example, this year the event that we actually planned was the Walk for Rice. So we collaborated with NTUC FairPrice to actually organize this event to allow our students to, at their own pace during the holidays, clock certain mileages, and depending on the mileage, of course, rice will be donated to the needy communities. So actually, for this event, the total distance that we actually clocked over I think it was about 2 to 3 week period was actually about 786 kilometers. And as a result, we actually were NTUC actually donated 7,166 bowls of rice. Yeah, because of the efforts of the cohort. Yeah, so this has also allow our students to have the opportunity to give back to the community at the same time. Yeah, and this is something that we actually held it off because of COVID, but we are looking to bring it back this year and for subsequent years. It's actually ISE night cycling. Yeah, so night cycling essentially it's about bringing the cohort together for one night of night cycling, and of course there will be goodies for the students, supper and all that before we conclude the event itself. Yeah, and then next is on the key mainstays of ISE Club events, actually the business analytics case competition. Actually, we just concluded this event yesterday. It's for usually for this event we'll collaborate with Micron to organize the event for both current undergraduate students as well as for pre-university students. So, for example, students in their GCs or in their polytechnics, they are actually also encouraged to sign up for this competition. So this competition actually gives students the chance to better understand what ISE is about. So for example, we do introduce some of the concepts that ISE students commonly learn, similar to some of the concepts that earlier I think Prof. Tan and Joel both mentioned. Some of these concepts, we will teach it to the students, sometimes beyond the faculty and of course beyond NUS itself. And then we'll present them a case competition to see how it's like to really be an industrial engineer. Yeah, and with those insights, we also aim to give them greater insights into what ISE is really about through this competition. And last but not least, of course, it wouldn't ISE Club and of course student life would not be really complete without a freshman orientation camp. So freshman orientation camp every year is organized. It's organized at around the end of June. It's really meant to bring the freshman cohort together and to give them a first touch point when the freshmen enter NUS. So if you are looking to enroll in ISE, you can definitely look forward to freshman orientation camp. Currently, the committee, I understand they are still going through the plan, but there are plans to have it in a physical context this year. And of course, some personal moments for me, I think. So this picture was actually taken, I think was my first or second general meeting with ISE Club. So with ISE Club, students are also encouraged to step out of their comfort zone to plan events, to channel their creativity into planning events for the wider cohort. Like I mentioned before, it's by ISE students for ISE students. So this was actually, I remember, I think this picture was taken when I was presenting the plan for freshman orientation camp in the first year. So that role, I think it really allowed me to step out of my comfort zone, really to get to understand what is at stake for the different stakeholders. How do I consider this, all of this, and factor into my planning, which actually falls a lot under some of the project management stuff that Dr. Tan mentioned earlier. For example, like when you're doing a project for a company, right, you will need to understand what the company requires, why do they require in a certain way. If you're planning something for somebody, you need to understand from their point of view, for example. So this was some of the experiences that ISE Club really gave me and was really able to broaden my point of view. Okay, and this one, yeah, this picture was just a very candid picture. I think it was one of the meetings that I had with my exco when we were planning stuff. I honestly cannot remember what we were discussing in the meeting, but it's like ISE Club is not just a place where we work all the time. We also do have our fun. We do interact with one another. We do support one another through this university journey, you know, because tough times are easier to go when you go through it with different people, right? So I think all of these personal moments really actually summed up like my growth as an individual in my first 2 years in ISE. And I hope that whatever I've shared, it will actually help you all to make this decision about whether you want to join ISE, because I feel it's really a place where different individuals will get to meet, different individuals will get to grow in a personal aspect and really to get to know people within the ISE community. Yeah. Okay, so with that, okay, if let's say in the event you all want to find out like or you want to keep in touch like about what ISE Club does like on a monthly or yearly basis, okay, feel free to scan the QR codes on the screen. The left one actually goes to our club Instagram, where we will usually post and promote about the events that we have. If let's say any of y'all would like to ask questions about ISE, for example, beyond this event itself, feel free to give the Instagram account or PM as well. We will view the private message and answer the various questions to the best of our abilities to give you all greater insights about ISE itself.